Okay, this is the second half of a instructional video on setting up a Prysmatic validator. I'm sorry, an Ethereum 2 validator using the Prysmatic Labs client. In the first video, I showed you how to set up the Beacon chain, and in this video, I'm going to walk through setting up the validator. So if you used my first video and that's been several days or several weeks, you need to go ahead and do that again. So just wipe your installation and start all over. There aren't any major changes, but there are enough changes that if you use the old setup, then it will not work for what we're doing today. So just go to the first video, run through those, get everything set up, and I would encourage you to wait until your Beacon chain is fully synced before you do anything else. Remember, in the way we did the last setup, you can view the Beacon chain with screen-x Beacon chain, I think, or something like that. So what I want to look at today is doing the validator. In order to do that, we're going to do a couple steps. I'm going to show you how to create wallets with scripts. We're going to install Chromium. We're going to install Metamask. We're going to get goerli test ether. We're going to copy the transaction data. We're going to submit it and wait for induction. So let me slip this over here. And right now we're in the home directory and we have a few, let me see if I can resize that a little bit. Not gonna, because I need to, not gonna worry about it. All right, so when we ran the script, it went ahead and created a validator for us, and we can see that the actual directory is a hidden directory called ETH2 validators, and you can see there that we have a shard withdrawal key and a validator private key. In order to make these work as validators, we need to submit a transaction to the ETH1 chain that says, hey, this guy is burning his Ethereum. He's ready to be a validator. And when that happens, your validator will be picked up and you can begin validating and earning rewards. So in order to do that, you have to obviously get goerli testnet ether. In the live version, you'll use your actual Ethereum. When you create a wallet, you get some transaction data. And it looks like this raw transaction data. This is the important string. This is what we're going to copy into Metamask later. I'm sorry, we're going to copy into the Prysmatic Labs page later to submit with our validation info. So if we go over all of this, the validators are stored in the ETH2 validators folder. That's technically a hidden folder. This is a link to that hidden folder that's created by my tool. And it also copies the deposit data. Now, if you want to create more, say one isn't enough, you can use this script, which is bulk account create. When you run that, it's going to ask you how many you want to create. And I'm not going to actually create them now. And it will store all of that data back in this deposit data. And really what you would do then is you would hit less and you would scroll through, and every time you saw raw transaction data, that would let you instantiate a validator. When you run that script and create 10 or 12 wallets, there are going to be an equal number of raw transaction data in this file for that. Okay. So I showed you creating wallets a little bit. We want to install Chromium, so I think that's going to work like this. I haven't actually done a practice run. I usually do. I just thought if I don't get it done, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to knock it out. So I'm installing Chromium. As soon as that's installed, I'm going to open up Chromium and install Metamask. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, you're familiar with Metamask. If you're not, it's just an awesome tool that lets you interact with smart contracts. So let me see why I cannot. There we go. So I installed Chrome, but I have to find it. Let's find it and then plug it in. If I open it, I can then attach it to the side. Let's do add to favorites. Okay, so now that I have Chromium installed, I can add Metamask. To do that, I go to metamask.io. And I'm going to add it. Okay, and you can see that it's over here. And we need to create a seed phrase. Because we're on the test network, I don't need to keep it too much of a secret. Don't use my seed phrase. You're going to need to create your own. It's not going to be the end of the world if you decide to use this. It would just be foolish and just unadvised. Somebody's going to do it, and that's fine. Okay, so I have a MetaMask account set up, and so the next thing I want to do is get my Ethereum address. It's right here. And in order to get goerli testnet ether, I need to go to this site. I'm going to end up copying and recopying. So let's copy this. And this is a verified, authenticated faucet. So in order to get ether, I have to do something. And to do that, I'm going to post my address on my Twitter account. And I have my Twitter account opened in another screen. I'm going to slide over there. And I'm posting that address as a tweet, and then I can copy a link to the tweet. Let me show you what that looks like here. So I've created the tweet. There's a link to it, and now I can post that link, paste that link into the goerli faucet, and I need at least 3.2, so I can get that. It's funding the request. It's going to give me what is it going to give me? 6.25 Ether. It has been funded, and so right now, MetaMask is still on the main chain. We're going to have to switch to goerli, but we'll do that in just a minute. So I've asked for the test Ether, and so we're going to go to prylabs.net. That should be up here, sorry. And prylabs.net/participate does a great job of guiding us through this. All right, so when I'm there, I need to make sure that my validator and Beacon Chain are running. If I slide back, oh, sorry, let me be on this page. I can show you here that the validator and Beacon Chain are running. So let's pop into the Beacon Chain. And you can see that I am caught up. If you submit your deposit before your chain is ready, you're not going to be validated and you'll be actively losing funds. So make sure that you're ready to validate, that your chain is fully synced before you activate your validator. Okay. So I know that this is already done. So I need to get goerli Ether, which I already have, even though my MetaMask is still on mainnet. It's going to ask me to switch over. Yeah, so I need to change MetaMask over to goerli. So that's goerli.prylabs.net. I'm going to click here. I'm going to do a custom RPC. The network name is goerli. The RPC URL is https goerli.prylabs.net. I don't think you can use the other offering of goerli there that's shown in this list. Let me show you first. I don't think this will work, but this will. So we're now on the goerli testnet. We have the 6.25 Ether that we got from the faucet, and I need to restart MetaMask in order to make this work. So I think if I just close this page and then open it back up, it will work this time, I think. So connect, and great. So now I'm connected. I have this address. I have 6.2 Geth Ether, goerli Ether, and so now this step has already been done. This is that raw transaction data. So let me go back and copy that raw transaction data. And remember, the best place to find that is in this file, deposit data. So I just need to copy all of this. And I have had issues in the past with spaces, so let's be sure that you don't add trailing spaces. I think since then it's been set to cut those off, but best not to include them. Right click and copy, and then I'm going to paste it here. Again, we are not using these Docker instructions. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just not the way that I'm doing it. So if you follow along, don't get sidetracked by these instructions. Even though they'll work, just do the things that I'm doing, you'll be fine. So we need to start our client. They're already running. We've checked them both, and we know that. And so now we can send this deposit. So everything is set up. The raw transaction data is up here. Goerli is connected. I'm sorry. Metamask is connected to the goerli testnet, and we're funded with enough Ethereum to start a validator. Those two things need to be in place. The raw transaction data needs to be pasted, and we need to have enough goerli Ethereum in our wallet to make this happen. So now I can hit make the deposit. It's going to ask me to approve it. Well, sure. All right, and now a waiting sign is going to come up. It's going to say, hey, you've been transaction received, pending confirmation. And now what we'll do is slip over to the validator. And let me make that full screen. And let's see, something will change here in just a little bit. So we're waiting for the validator to be active. This unknown status is going to change to pending soon. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and come back when it shows pending. Okay, that didn't take long. It's showing now that it's deposited, and we're going to have to wait until it's included, and it tells us we're expecting to be included in slot 338619. That should actually be pretty quick, but I don't want to spend the afternoon diddling with this video, so I'm going to save the video, and what I can tell you is that everything has been done. Now it's just waiting. You're going to see a couple changes here. This deposit is going to change to pending, and then it's going to change to active, and then you're going to start seeing your validator work. And just like the other video, if something seems to not be working, the best thing you can do is just reboot the machine. Everything will work in the background and get you back to this place. If you didn't watch the first session to see that all of these tools are running in screen sessions in the background, that would be a great thing to get caught up with. So good luck. I hope you enjoy running your validator. And I guess that's it.